Now to another Canadian community coming to terms with difficult times. It's been 4 months since that devastating train derailment in Quebec. Lac Megantic still faces a tough road ahead. To ease the burden, Prime Minister Stephen Haprer traveled to the town this week, where he made a commitment to front half the cleanup costs. Mike Armstrong reports.
What was once the downtown core of Lac Megantic looks nothing like it did in the weeks after the disaster. With giant mounds of earth, it's barely recognizable, except for one thing: the activity. The work here hasn't stopped, and there is a lot to do. 310,000 square meters of contaminated earth has to be dug up and carted away. That's an area bigger than 60 football fields. It's also right in the middle of town, still splitting Lac Megantic in two parts. To get from one to the other, there's a detour several kilometers through the countryside. It's been 4 months since the disaster. Jeanette Boulanger says it's felt like years. We're tired of it, she says. In the morning you wake up and say, oh no, another day. Well, the work isn't stopping anytime soon. Crews have only excavated about 40% of the contaminated earth. Now, there has been some friction between Ottawa and Quebec on how much of a share of costs the federal government would be paying. The answer came at an event with no provincial counterpart invited.
The Government of Canada is today pledging to cover 50% of the decontamination costs for Lac Megantic, according to the estimates provided by the Government of Quebec.
Quebec pegs the bill for decontaminating the land at $190 million. Ottawa will be writing a check for $95 million of that. That's on top of $60 million announced in the days after the derailment for emergency measures.
Nous pensons à l'avenir.
Lac Megantic's mayor says the town is focused on the future, what happens when the cleanup is completed. The plan is to turn the old downtown core into a commemorative park and to turn this neighborhood into a new downtown core. Any real progress is still months away for people desperate to move on. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Lac Megantic, Quebec.